Hey guys, it's Abby with Motor City Nerds, and I want to talk about my favorite superhero film, which is X2 X-Men United. Hi to all new subscribers, welcome. If you're new here, we're small but we're awesome. We have a good time. We're on our way to 2K. All my social medias are down below, but anyway, this could not happen today. This couldn't come out today. This could not come out today. I will argue till the cows come home that William Stryker, played by Brian Cox, is the best villain that all of Marvel, including the MCU, has put on the big screen. I said it, I stand by it, and I also think if anything's going to give Spider-Man 2 a run for its money for best superhero movie, not counting like The Dark Knight, I think it's X2. X2 is really, really good. But this could not happen today. There is no way. I watched this so much as a kid, I burned the DVD out. I didn't know you could do that until it happened. But this couldn't happen. It couldn't happen. Nightcrawler is my favorite X-Men. His introduction and his scene not only couldn't happen today. Could you imagine that? Imagine that. I want you guys to really think about this. Really think about opening your movie with a minority group character trying to commit an assassination in the White House on the president in the Oval Office, and they can't stop it, and guns are being fired and everything's being crazy. They would not allow that today. Not only would they not allow that, they definitely would not be having their main hero character that they put in the middle of all their posters get shot at point-blank range in the head by the police. And then, in retaliation, have the good guys blow up the police. But those are just a couple things. Those are just a couple. Could you imagine today if Tony Stark came out, told the military, if you're gonna shoot me, and then later on in the movie, with a misunderstanding with the police, gets shot point blank range in the head for doing nothing wrong? Oh my God. People would be crying so hard. People would be calling this every name in the book. Oh my God. And it only goes up from there. This movie fleshes out every character. You get to know everybody. Everybody is used in a way that even if you didn't see the first X-Men or you don't know these characters very well, you could go into watching this and get to know everybody real quick and what the dynamic is. Nightcrawler scene. That is one of the coolest scenes ever in a superhero film. It is so cool. It is so well choreographed. It is awesome. Unlike we've been talking about over here, like with the Hunger Games or other things that feel the need to spoon feed us and tell us exactly what's happening, this does a really great job of not doing that and showing us pictures on a screen called a movie. We see the protests against mutants going on in the background a lot. We see it on TV. We hear people going like, turn that off. I don't want to watch that no more. It's getting political. Instead of going, hey, dumb little baby, here's this issue, they are just showing it and referencing it in the background. But we know the vibe. We know what's going on. I don't know how many times I can say this would not happen. We get the government sanctioning and agreeing to allowing a military presence go into a school, snatch children out their beds, and shoot both live ammunition and essentially bullets into them while they're sleeping. And our heroes stab them to death in the kitchen. And it's great, and it's awesome, and they let people smoke cigs, and they let people drink alcohol, and they didn't worry and panic every time one of their heroes picked up a beer, and how it looked to the public outside of the movie. Oh my God, it was the best of times. You picked the wrong house, bub. Oh my God, it's so good. Now, I know they were setting up for the third one, which, oh God, but either way, with or without them planning to do that, it was smart how they handled Jean Grey's powers being stunted, and not only that, we find a way to also take Professor X out of commission, who are two very overpowered individuals, and if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to have the movie. This movie knows how to make fun of itself. It doesn't feel like you're watching a movie that's 2 hours plus, because I don't understand why now everything is 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's like I gotta carve out half my day to watch a movie or go to the movies now. A movie like this shouldn't feel like dilly-dally. It shouldn't, and this does not. I think I was over 30 minutes in when I realized I thought I was only watching it for 10 minutes. Because it moves so fast, and we have these characters intermingling so well and so flawlessly and seamlessly, it just goes. Talk about some of the best things of this. Magneto is my favorite character ever. Or top 3 ever. The other one's Hannibal Lecter. And getting the Hannibal Lecter vibe of him in his cell, away from everybody, listening to his classical music is so great. Ian McKellen is so great, but I'm shocked, rewatching it as an adult, I'm shocked nobody back then said, you know, this gay actor is portraying this Magneto very gay. Because, man, is Ian McKellen is serving as Magneto. He is throwing that cape around. He is being catty. He is reading people. He's talking shit with his BFF in the corner. I'm like, oh my god, Ian McKellen, I think this was a conscious choice. Go back and watch X2 and tell me that Magneto is not acting sassy as fuck. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he is or he isn't, but I'm just saying, go into this watching it and like, you are bringing a lot of sass to this, sir. And I'm here for it. It's great. God damn, him as Magneto, you should have killed me when you had the chance. Oh my god. And he's genuinely so sorry to Xavier. And that's the thing here. We have like acting titans in this with Brian Cox and Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, and they are, oh my god, giving it their all in this, and it's great. When Magneto and Professor X are having their back and forth, and he doesn't even say, like, I got drugged and gave him all the information. He just goes, I told him everything, and then there's nothing to be said in between them, but you can tell that Magneto feels so sorry, and the acting in this is really, really, like, God, we had no business having these titans in these superhero films, and I'm so grateful that they were. The main focus, which is our X-Men against Stryker, with a lot of political strife around it. This movie does not stop. It does not stop or slow down. We go right from one thing to another thing. After the school stuff, we go right into going to Bobby's house, right into Iceman's house. Remember his punk-ass little brother calls the cops on him? Tell me if something today made a joke that said, have you tried not being whatever? Have you tried not being a mutant? And then when they're like, disgusted by the fact that he has no choice on whether he's a mutant or not, that would be torn asunder today. People would, oh my god, I can see it now. People be going, it's woke, it's this, it's that, and it's like, it's X-Men. Have you heard of MLK or Malcolm X? Welcome to the party. God, and then it only goes up. Like I said, we just keep upping the ante. I'm like, not only do I remember when we had smoking and alcohol and murder and guns actually in our superhero movies, but we had no problem attacking them when they were in the wrong, and we had no problem taking them out when they were in the wrong, and when those cops are in the wrong, and Pyro starts blowing them to smithereens, I was like, oh my god. Anti-police, woke agenda, and it's the greatest. Like, even to make the politics a focal point, but you have to with X-Men. You can't get away from it, but to do that, this is what we could do in the early 2000s, everybody. And everybody didn't shit a brick about it. Everybody didn't go absolutely insano about it. When Pyro says, you know all those bad mutants you hear about on the news? I'm the worst one. I'm like, oh shit, it's so good. God, imagine if somebody said that today. Oh my god, everybody would lose their shit. Everybody would lose their goddamn fucking minds. That would be great. Can you imagine how that would get called the gay agenda today? Have you tried not being a mutant? Have you tried not being a gay? Like, it's right there. That's why we all love X-Men. There's something we can see ourselves in X-Men, and it can apply to so many different people, or you can just love it in so many groups and so many things, and that's why we love it. Oh my god, the thought of that coming out today. That same exact movie, imagine that coming out today for real. But here we go with one of the greatest, most iconic characters ever put to screen, and I feel like we talk about it, but not enough, and that is Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. Holy shit. Holy shit. What an icon. Iconic. She is so good in that. She is so good as her Mystique in the amount of screen time she gets in the entire franchise. God damn, is so much more layered and better than Jennifer Lawrence's entire portrayal of that character. And I know Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress, but no, Rebecca Romijn brings something slithery and sexual but also not human. Like, she brings something to that, and I know she got picked because she was a model, and they were like, we need somebody that's going to be able to stand there and literally get poked with brushes and paint all day long. So who do we get? And they were like, a model. We're going to get a model. So they got Rebecca Romijn, and man, so I give her mad credit. She's in that prosthetic. Like I said, people are probably poking at her all day long, all day, every day. She doesn't say much. It's just like physicality, but like I was saying, I think because she's a model and because it's like she brings something cold to Mystique that Jennifer Lawrence doesn't. Like, I'm just, like, just in the way she moves and everything. And holy shit. God, when she takes him out and helps Magneto escape, there's too much iron in your blood. So good, so good. But one of the best scenes in this entire thing, like I keep saying to you guys, imagine this was today and this scene comes out of Nightcrawler and Mystique talking and him saying, if you can disguise yourself just like them, why don't you look like that all the time? And she responds with, because we shouldn't have to. But because of the way these characters are and the way this movie is, it doesn't feel heavy-handed and stupid. When we get Magneto stopping the jet, that is sick, and we still are showing that Jean is powerful but struggling with her powers still, even halfway through the movie. Our anti-heroes with Mystique and Magneto, and our heroes meeting up to go get Xavier back and figure everything out. And the rest of the kids that the government snatched out of their beds. Remember when the government walked in and snatched children out of their school beds and said, we don't trust it because it's something we don't understand, so we're just gonna harm it. But we go to Alkali Lake. This is where the big showdown's happening with some of the best fight scenes in anything. There's a few parts in the ending where I do feel like we're dragging, but I feel like it was mostly because they knew they were going to be establishing Wolverine as his own character. So it's nothing like egregious. It's just a few times where I'm like, we're spending a little bit too much time with flashbacking and showing me images. We need it for the story, but there was just a couple times where I was like, you really, really want us honed in on him a lot. Nothing like, oh my god, we are staring at each other for a minute and a half, like in the Mockingjay. Now, this is a scene that I think is sick, that I don't think gets acknowledged enough, and also why I say William Stryker, Brian Cox is one of the best villains Marvel's ever had, is things like this scene right here. It's not just what he's doing to our heroes, it's what he's capable of and the things going on in the background. And we end up finding out he's the one who was mind-controlling Nightcrawler to put out the assassination on the president, to kick off an altercation. So it was him all along, but scenes like when they make their plan to send Mystique in looking like Wolverine and let Stryker think it's him to get close or get in, and I realized the second Brian Cox is within, like, seeing distance of Wolverine, there's no time. I don't know if it's because I was watching movies where we were spending 45 seconds staring at each other before doing anything or saying anything, that this was this noticeable, or if it's just because it's a great little, it tells you a lot about the character within seeing distance of Wolverine, but it's really Mystique, and immediately, the second he looks at him, maybe 3 or 4 seconds, says, I think I know my own work. Seal the door, shoot it. And he's like, I immediately know that's not my work. I am a man of, I cross my T's and dot my I's to the nth degree. You don't get one over on me. So I like that the plan kind of doesn't go according to plan in this. Off rip. It's willy-nilly, we got to make it as we go. And then we have the Magneto flip-flopping Cerebro. So we have a whole other altercation go down. And that made it feel faster and not slow, because at first I was like, oh man, is this going to feel like I just shifted into another movie and it's not going to flow and it's going on too long? But no, the Magneto part, I feel like reinvigorates you to go, holy shit. And then we get to the iconic ending of the lightning flashing and seeing all of them in the Oval Office. But if you notice, when they go to the Oval Office and show that, it's not until the president calls them a threat on the air. He's on the air, and then once he calls the mutants a threat, everything goes dark, then the lightning flashes, everybody freezes, we see all of our heroes, all the X-Men in the Oval Office, and they're like, listen, don't say no dumb shit out here, because we ain't going anywhere, and it's great, and this could never happen today, and I just wanted to rant about it and how great it is. But I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds, I'm on OF, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all the stuff down below. I can't believe this is 20 years old. And go back and watch. If you think I'm wrong, go back and watch this and tell me that people would not be shitting a brick today and going, they would be calling this like the biggest agenda shit of all time. Like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. And just remember, and even outside of that, just remember a time when we allowed our characters to be complex and drink beers and smoke cigars and cigarettes, and it had a point on screen, and we didn't panic about it because of the image of our business, of our structure of our business. Like, it was a great time. And I'm sorry to those who don't get to live and see these. God damn, this movie was so good. I saw it at the Dollar Show so many times.